Welcome everyone to another Industry Manager Future Technologies video. This particular video has two very important purposes. First, as you can see on your screen, there has just been another patch released for the game. But before we get too deep into that, let's talk about the second reason for this video. And that is, I have had a lot of issues with the game here recently. Since our most recent video, which I believe was 4 or 5 days ago at this point, on the channel, I have tried to record additional content for our Let's Play series and have been unable to for the simple reason that the game will not load any of my previous saves anymore. I've gone in and I tried to load saves, nothing. The game just freezes and I end up having to control out delete and that's the only way I can get out of the game. So I've tried it for a few of the recent saves and then I just gave up and realized that, even if some of the previous saves before that worked, that I really wasn't interested in going back that far and removing that much of the work we had done in our series. So I was faced with the realization that if I wanted to continue the series, I was basically going to have to start all over again. Well, then I was faced with another decision. Do I want to just go ahead and start over, immediately? Or do I want to try to give the company a little bit of time to come out with some more updates, specifically about the AI? Because the issues with the AI are well publicized. If you follow this game, the AI companies basically go bankrupt not far into a game. It happened in our Let's Play series very early on. So I was faced with, do I want to go ahead and just start all over with the same AI and go through that process? And I really didn't want to, but at the same time, I love doing the series. I love playing the game. This is a type of game that I love, so I didn't want to just give it up. And lo and behold, this morning, I saw this update on Steam. So the next time you open up Steam, if you have this game in your library, you should get an update. Now, the update is about 81 megabytes, I believe. So it's not a huge update, which you wouldn't expect it to be in a game like this, which is not huge on graphics. But let's take a look at some of the items in this particular update before we move on. So we've got 5 items here that you can see I've added numbers next to. We're not going to talk about everything in this list because, quite frankly, a lot of this hasn't applied to me. It may apply to you. So you may see some things that I have not marked that are really going to help you out. And that's awesome. And I hope that is the case. But really what I want to focus on here is the things that we've seen in our Let's Play series that have given us trouble or taken away from some of the enjoyment. Now, even before I get to that, let's take a look at the very first one. I have read issues where some people have mentioned the AI buildings, even after the company goes bankrupt, remain on the map. So for those of you that that's happening to, this first item on the list should be a real help. Although it has not happened to me in my private playthroughs or in our Let's Play series. So let's go ahead and start with number 1. Improvements for AI companies. Now, that's just about as general and cryptic as you can possibly make it. So I'm really hopeful that that's going to help them to compete. And I like the idea that they could actually beat me in the game. That's what I want. That's the ultimate goal, that if I do crazy things and stupid things, that they will eventually beat me and I will go bankrupt, either going bankrupt or that I will simply not be competitive. I like the idea of that. So we'll see how far they've come with that. Item number 2 here is that AI companies do not go bankrupt so frequently. Really hoping that that's the case, because the next video that I release in the Let's Play series will definitely want to test that out, because I'm going to load up the map with AI companies and we're going to see what kind of competition we get. Number 3 is on the market, the demand does not drop so suddenly. I'm not exactly sure what they're referring to here. If you remember from our Let's Play series, we had a situation with, I believe it was our cell phones and maybe the VR goggles, something like that, where we were doing great, making lots of money, and then all of a sudden the demand just went completely away, and we went from selling, I forget, it was like 100 or something per day or 20 or whatever it was, and then all of a sudden we're selling none. So we start losing a bunch of money every day. That's no good. I'm not sure if it's referring to that demand not dropping so suddenly, or if it's talking about the global market demand not dropping so suddenly. I'm hoping it's talking about the first one, which was really affecting our gameplay. And along with that, number 4 on the list here is a message is shown when a demand change happens because of in-game events. Again, I'm hoping that refers to the situation that happened to us and not just the global market fluctuations, which really didn't affect us very much at all. But if they did get that fixed where, we saw that huge drop and we had no messages to tell us, hey, this is why you're no longer selling cell phones and VR goggles and so forth, that would be great. And then finally, item number 5, the global market does not provide easy profit anymore. Now, while this one didn't particularly pertain to us in the Let's Play series, I know there was a tactic that a lot of players were using that they basically allowed them to build a warehouse and then build a shop in one of the cities and then just simply buy lots of products from the global market, have them shipped to their warehouse, and then from the warehouse to they could sell them directly in one of the city's stores and make tons of money without having to go through any other production, building any factories, and so forth. Well, I didn't want to go that route, even though it worked quite well, I understand, simply because that takes the fun out of it for me. I'm not interested in just making money. I'm interested in building the factories and going through the supply chain and all that kind of thing. That's what's fun to me. So if you're one of those players, then take a look here and see if that helps out and makes it more difficult for you to do that. Hopefully it does, and hopefully it makes the game as good as it possibly can be. So those are the 5 things that I'm going to be looking for, and I want you to keep those in mind as well as we go forward in our Let's Play series and get a fresh new start on a new map against new AI, and hopefully we'll get even more enjoyment about our fresh start. So thanks for joining me on this update video, and stay tuned for more Industry Manager Future Technologies.